What's up, Cake Drain Nation? Welcome back to the Daily Slither. I'm your host, DraketheTruSnake, and it's Sunshine Sundays. Now, today's one of my favorite days of the week because I get to give you guys a little inspiration or something that God's been putting in my heart that I think we all need to hear. Today I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't understand and people get frustrated with, and that's God's timing. Now, a lot of times we look at, people think, oh, I want it to happen like now. Like, I've dealt with a lot of frustrations over the years looking at how God has worked through my life. Because I'm thinking, oh, if we could move now and we could start our careers faster and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure we've all been there. And then God's like, I want to wait a little longer. Not quite my time yet. So that's one of the things that we have to understand is sometimes God waits a long time, but whenever it happens, it's perfect. For example, there's two main examples in the Bible that I look back on a lot where God proves that His timing is the right timing. Most of us would think they're ridiculous. First one is in Exodus, of course, is Moses. A lot of people don't realize Moses was 80 years old when God gave him the burning bush experience, when God called him to free the people of Israel. Now, think about that. You live your life, you've gone through everything that Moses has, and then when you're 80 years old, God says, okay, now go. That's insane. Most of us nowadays would be like, are you for real? You waited this long to tell me what I need to do with my life? And again, then there's the other end of the spectrum where somebody knew what their plan for their life was, and they had to wait forever to get there. And that was Joseph. Joseph is one of the guys I love in the Bible. One of his story is one of the ones that I look back on as inspiration for myself, that I see some of my own life events following. He was given a dream in his teens about how his brothers would bow before him, that he would be a position way above them. Needless to say, that didn't go over very well, because he was thrown in a pit, he was sold into slavery, he ended up, getting the bum rap later on in life, and then he ended up in prison until he was 30. So, that's a long time. And what led to him being called for God's plan to be fulfilled was he interpreted a dream for someone who worked for Pharaoh while he was in prison. And that person, later on, years later, Pharaoh had a dream that no one could interpret. So, this employee finally remembers, oh yeah, there's a dude named Joseph that you have in prison right now. He can interpret this. He interpreted my dream. Of course he could do yours. If I was Joseph, I'm glad God didn't let this happen to me, because if that was me, I would have probably given up on that dude. I'd have been like, oh, now you remember my name? I told you to remember me when you get back to Pharaoh? Thanks. Anyway, but whenever he interpreted that dream to Pharaoh, Pharaoh made him second in command, because he told them that there was going to be a famine, and that, he needed somebody to help them with. He's like, well, why don't you do it? He's like, why don't I? And that's one thing we've got to remember, is that in all the years we wait, if God's given you something that you need to do, you've got to trust that He'll time it out to where it'll be perfect. Now, I've struggled with this for years, because not only has God led me down different roads, but His timing has always been confusing. Because when I first moved to Farmington, it was when we were in Texas and everything seemed comfortable. Everything was good. Then God's like, okay, you're comfortable? Good. Get out. Head over to this place you never heard of and get comfortable there. Now, after almost 13 years, well, about 10 years into it, God's like, okay, comfortable in New Mexico? Go to Texas. Okay? Go to Texas for a few months, think I'm living my dream as a wrestler, and then God's like, okay, head home. I know, it's confusing, because I questioned God after that. I'm like, God, I know you're all-knowing, I know you're omnipotent, you know what's going to happen, you know the path, Could you make up your mind? I got frustrated, but God really just used that time to just let me know that it's not my timing. It's not my way. It's His. And if we could all just kind of accept that, I think our lives would work a lot better. I hope you guys have enjoyed this today. I know it helped me a lot. It's a lesson that I had to deal with a lot and that God's really clarified for me. So post in the comments if this helps you out. Also, we have some exciting new stuff coming up. If you have any suggestions for the Daily Slither, email me at thedailyslither@gmail.com. Also, we have a new series that we're going to be working on soon. Me and Kane are in the conceptual stages of. I hope you guys will love this. The concept is exciting. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's going to be a little while down the road. We have a lot of projects we're going to do in the next few months, in the next however long. So I hope you guys are excited. Alright, peace out. Remember, Bruce! Come and kick it with the team.